Hey cruising crew, and welcome to the channel. I'm Alexis, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about all the different types of inaugural sailings that they offer. And yes, there are different types of inaugural cruises, which I wasn't aware of until just recently. So before you book your next inaugural cruise, stay tuned and watch this video. That way you can figure out which inaugural sailing is best for you. So let's start off with the maiden voyage. So this is the first cruise with actual paying customers that get to sail on the first sailing after the ship comes from its manufacturers and it passes all its tests. This is the first sailing with paying guests. So on a maiden voyage, you'll find that it is sometimes very exclusive. It's also a sailing that you may get pretty good gifts like lanyards, mugs, hats, stuff like that, unique onboard events. And this is also the type of sailing that they try and test like all the shows out, or maybe they just practice some of the shows and don't do a full sail or full showing of the shows. And so keep in mind, maiden voyages are usually really special. Sometimes there's like a champagne christening or the godmother of the ship comes on board. This is very special. However, I have been on maiden voyage before, and on maiden voyage, you're not going to get all the shows because they won't all be ready to the public. Not all the restaurants might be open. And so keep that in mind. Number two, inaugural sailing. So this is going to be separate from the maiden voyage because this will be a new sailing and say a new region or a new place that the ship has never been to. For example, say if the ship has never been to the Caribbean before, this will be its inaugural sailing, or if it's first time in the Mediterranean or Spain or something like that, and the first time it goes, then that's its inaugural sailing. And that's what makes it a little different than the maiden voyage. On this, there also still may be some exclusive stuff like parties and stuff like that, but it's not going to be the type of celebration. You're not going to get the type of gifts that you would on a maiden voyage. Number three, the inaugural season. So just like its maiden voyage, a ship might stay in a certain region for a complete season. And so this is what their inaugural season is. I went on the Celebrity Ascent maiden voyage, and all of their merch that I bought has inaugural season on it because it stayed in that region for a whole season. And so that's an example of an inaugural season. Number four, shakedown cruises. So this is actually prior to even the maiden voyages. And think of this as like test cruises where they bring on some passengers. That way they can test things out before they actually put the ship out there for paying guests to see. So you'll have a lot of like taste testing for menus, shows, you'll get surveys on what you think they should change, what they should keep, tours all around the ship, stuff like that. These are also usually shorter cruises, like 3 or 4 days at the most. That way you just have enough time to get on there and test everything out that they want you to test. Naming ceremony cruise. So every cruise has its naming ceremony. Some cruises actually just do this on their maiden voyage cruise, but other cruise lines or other cruise ships actually have just a certain cruise where all they do is the christening of the ship and they have a big party. Sometimes cruise ships will actually do this like one day. They don't even take off from port. They just let mostly media. This is like a media kind of cruise. They let all the media on for the day. They do the christening of the ship. They name the ship. The godmother might be there as well. And it's basically just for media. Each type of inaugural sailing offers unique and different experiences, basically catering to what you want. So if you want to be the absolute first person on a cruise ship, then maybe you'll try out those test cruises. If you want to be part of the party, if you want to be part of history, then a maiden voyage would absolutely be your inaugural cruise. So there are so many different inaugural cruises, and I'm so glad that I learned about these because I have been on multiple types of these inaugural sailings, and each type I was very confused because I thought I was supposed to be the very first one on board. However, when I learned about all the different types of inaugural cruising, it has definitely helped me book my inaugural cruisings in the future. I personally really do like being a part of an inaugural cruise. However, I just don't know if it's worth the money. They are more expensive. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys like inaugural cruises or if you don't like inaugural cruises. Once again, if you guys found this video helpful or enjoyed it at all, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you're always updated with all things cruising and travel. Don't forget to always seize the day, and I'll catch you in the next one.